Hi, my name's Akshaya.
I'm Joanne.
No, it's Anisha.
And today's episode is
Beauty standards and bleach.
bleach as in like we're gonna bleach cloth.
Yeah.
Like those Pinterest things. I've never done this before.
Me neither, but I want to start DIYing my clothes more.
I have a whole suitcase full of clothes to donate, but I wanted to use this tote bag because it was my DIY tote bag last year. I tried to iron something on and it kind of flopped, so I was let me just test it on this.
How did you iron something on it?
I had iron paper.
Oh.
So I printed out an image, peeled it and ironed it. But it just I didn't like it. And Tanisha's not here, she's on a vacation, but she will be here later this summer. This is gonna be kind of a pop culture episode. Oh, also, I guess to preface, this is kind of mostly a female point of view. But it applies to men too, obviously, but because we're women, can't really talk about a lot of beauty standards for men, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen to men. Yeah, obviously. So
I guess the name is pretty straightforward. It's just a standard set for the ideal look. I guess to be more specific, there are definitely lots of beauty standards with how you look and what your body looks like. And I feel at least what I've seen for a lot of women is that it tends to change very often. It's almost nothing is ever enough, at one point this is considered the ideal body or the ideal face, and then it could just be a couple years later where that completely changes. Especially on social media, I've been seeing a lot of things where the celebrities now, they're definitely shifting towards becoming a lot more skinnier, and that's what's trending to the ideal body. And it's honestly really concerning just because, especially for young, or not even just young people, but the reason why I'm bringing it up is because I think young girls are especially vulnerable. And so seeing something like that and seeing so many different celebrities promote that, it just promotes poor habits, I feel it gives off the idea that you need to do this to reach this body, and especially with eating, it's bringing that culture back. And I know it used to be bad earlier, I think earlier in the 2000s, somewhere around then, and now it's coming back, and it's just really concerning seeing all these people and how drastically they're changing. And that's not to say they look wrong, I just think it's considering the timeline and how quickly it's happening and how it's happening to so many people, that's when it gets a little concerning. Because at the end of the day, it's not that anybody's body is bad or one way looks bad and another way looks good. That's exactly the opposite of what we're talking about. It's more just the habits it's promoting, the idea it's giving, and just how drastic of a change it is considered to how things were before.
Yeah, I think a lot of it also comes, how you were saying, it was something prevalent a while ago in the 2000s, and it's coming back now. Beauty standards are honestly just trends, I think. And a lot of the time, it's because someone who's famous or popular right now is doing something, and then everyone online is talking about it wow, this looks really good, now we all want to look like this. It's kind of have you seen Mean Girls?
Yeah.
You know that one scene where Regina George, somebody tries to prank her, right? And her clothes are cut up, but she doesn't care about how it looks. She just wears it anyway, and then everyone is oh, that looks so good, and because Regina George is doing it, I have to do it too. And it's literally that, where just because someone has a lot of influence, whatever they do kind of sticks. I think that everybody's insecure. Every single person looks different, but everybody has insecurities. And so for there to be beauty standards of face should look like this or your body should look like this, it's just really hard because it's not something that's in your control. That Liv and Maddie episode where they talk about how guys were rating girls.
Oh yeah.
And it's what standard are you rating them by? How can you rate someone as a whole just based on I never understood it, how you can make a standard for people who look completely different, whether it's their body or their hair or their face or anything. Everybody looks completely different. And honestly, it makes me feel bad for celebrities because if they had been in the spotlight for so many years and then they look different, obviously they've gotten older, then people will compare to their younger self, which is crazy because of course we as consumers would like compare ourselves to people we see online. But like imagine people are comparing you to old pictures of yourself. TikTok especially is such a like unfiltered place for people to just like comment on things and like share their thoughts. But so many celebrities are actually on TikTok, and like as much as they may not post or say that they're active, like they're probably seeing this stuff and it goes on the news, and it just sucks that there are beauty standards in general, because I don't understand how there can be a standard for something that's so like nuanced. There's so many different things that makes up someone, so like how can there be a standard? It really sucks, especially how much social media has grown now, because like people will be so rude. So many videos I see online of like people who are singing a cover, and like you'd expect the comments to be like, wow, like that's a beautiful song that you just sang and all this stuff, but then the comments will be like commenting on their appearance, and it's like that's not even what the video was about. Like you're making someone feel bad about something that they posted online. Like they're already being vulnerable, like sharing this like art with the world, and then you're like making them feel bad about something that wasn't even on their mind. And that's another thing. Oh my gosh, I just keep talking. Sorry. I think that growing up on social media, like there were insecurities that I didn't even know existed until people talked about it. People would comment on something about themselves or like about someone else, and then I'll be like, okay, I didn't even look at that part of you or myself, but like now I'm gonna look at it because like I guess other people are looking at it.
That's also something that I was gonna mention. I feel like when you're commenting on other people, you just have to remember that we're already hard on ourselves as is. Like I'm sure it's something that like, because you see yourself every day, you're gonna see stuff that like I'm sure nobody else has realized. So I just feel like going out of your way to now comment about somebody else and how they look, it's almost like adding salt to the wound. Like I just don't think you should be doing it in general, because it's like I'm sure they hear it and see it themselves, you know? It's just not something that like you should comment about, because you also don't know like what someone's going through, and even if they're not going through it, you don't want them to start going through it, right? And I feel like that also goes into making comments about other people, because I just feel like, or not even about other people, but about yourselves, because I also think it's a very like sensitive topic, because let's say you're talking about something, right, and then somebody else has it, then that person will be like, oh, I never thought this was wrong, but like now this person is saying it's wrong, you know? And beyond just giving someone an insecurity, I feel like it can cause a lot of things. But again, like I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but it's just like I feel like especially with looks, people can get very competitive and they can get very hurt, and it's obviously personal, because it's like it's not like this is something that you can automatically fix or just fix at all, you know? And I just feel like not being comfortable in your own body or like comfortable with the way you look, it's like this is something that's gonna be with you for the rest of your life. Like, I don't know, that's just like not something that you would want to feel unhappy about, and also you wouldn't want to make someone else feel unhappy about it, right? I also think, especially with social media, we've become a lot more obsessed with the way we look. Now that like we have more social media apps, and like it's become more popular, not just more popular, but it's also become more common to post yourself, we definitely have like just shifted more towards worrying about how we look. And this also goes into like checking the way you look in any reflective surface, you know? Like when I was younger and like I wasn't on social media, and I'm sure this applies to everybody else, nobody was really as concerned with how they look. But now that we're on social media and people are like not just posting themselves in the most ideal setting, but people are also commenting about how other people look when they don't look the best, or like comment on themselves. Now we're instilling the idea that you have to constantly worry about how you look. You know, some people have good days, some people have bad days, but even then, like, it really doesn't matter. You know, I just feel like you should be able to be happy in your own body and the way you look, even if you're not super dressed up. And it shouldn't be like, oh, I look good because I tried. It should be, I look good regardless, but right now I feel like I do look a little bit better, you know? Or it's like a different type of good.
Especially like Instagram and stuff was used to like post basically like just the good parts of your life. People will look at it and be like, wow, like this person looks amazing all the time, and like this person never feels insecure, and that's just like not true. Like even the people who post like so much online and like have so many positive comments can still feel insecure. And that's why like I really agree with what you said about like not commenting on anybody's like anything. Sometimes people even say them like in a passive aggressive way without realizing. Like, and I heard this like in a song, I think it was like Nessa Barrett's song or something. She would say that so many people would tell her that she looked amazing, but it was like mentally like the worst time of her life. That probably made her feel good, but it might have been like making her not feel better like mentally, or making her kind of like distressed because like people like the way that she's posting and the way that she's looking when she doesn't actually feel good. But when she does feel good, then people are saying the opposite. And it's just hard in those situations because like people are trying to give compliments and like say nice things. I don't know, like you don't really have to comment on that specific thing. Another thing with social media is how you were saying people like really care about the way they look, and I think it's also because a lot of people kind of like seek validation from posting online. You can't just be like, oh, like stop seeking validation from other people. That's just something that everybody goes through, is like getting compliments, I guess, and of course that's going to make you feel good, but I think it's very important to like find love in other ways, like literally just like try to love yourself. I don't know, like people comment such backhanded stuff like about people who are not like the most typical beauty standard that they see online, and then they're like, wow, like it's so nice seeing like a normal person or something like that, and it's like, wow, like how do you think that makes that person feel?
Or like the people that'll be like natural body, by the way, it's like, wait, what is that supposed to mean? Like any body is a natural body, you know? Like people would come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and then like that doesn't matter. Of course I agree, like we should all learn to love ourselves. I just feel like the root of the problem is the fact that what's in and like what's out changes so often that it's like it's hard to believe that you look good, because even if the way you look was the beauty standard before, it's also just like, oh, it was a beauty standard before, but like now it's no longer considered, you know, desirable. Again, like quotes. One big thing to remember is just it'll always change, you know, like the beauty standards will always change, and even if we're going through this now, I'm sure 10 years in the future it's going to be different, right? So you just have to remember that it doesn't really matter what is considered conventionally attractive, because at the end of the day, like there's nothing actually enforcing it, you know? Like I know a lot of people are saying it, but it's not like there's some law out there saying you need to look this way. It's just a lot of people following trends as usual, you know? So like why are you letting some like, I don't know how to describe it, it's some like random voice that you don't even know tell you that you don't look good? I feel like what matters at the end of the day is whether you're happy or not. And that like if you want to like change, I guess, do it for you. Like for working out, for example, like if you want to lose weight, do it because you want to have like a better lifestyle, or you want to be more active. Start like running or going to the gym because this is a hobby you want to pick up, not just because you want to lose weight, you know? I just feel like you should be happy with who you are, or like work towards that happiness. Don't do it because somebody else is telling you, because at the end of the day, like this is your body, this is your face, you know, you're going to be living with it, you're going to be seeing it for the rest of your life. So instead of constantly worrying about what other people will say or what other people will think, worry about like what you think, worry about what you want, do what makes you happy. Don't try to force yourself into something that is one, not sustainable, and one won't lead to your happiness.
Also, I have a lot of like respect for specifically body positive influencers, and they like talk about how they may not be like the beauty standard at the moment, but like they are 100% healthy. Like they're constantly active, and like they're moving their body so much, they're eating perfectly, and they're like doing everything exactly how a doctor would tell someone to live their life. But like people are still saying like, oh, that's not like, you don't look healthy, or you don't look good, or you need to do this, you need to do that. But like it doesn't make sense how people online will like tell you to do something. Like they're living such a healthy, sustainable lifestyle, and just because they don't look a certain way, people are like diminishing everything that they're doing. And I also think that it's not just people online. Like a lot of brands, starting from the 2000s all the way until now, like always encourage a type of beauty standard as well. Like whether it was like with the models that they would hire, or the sizes of clothes, the colors of makeup, like all this type of stuff that they would sell and like put out there into the world, their marketing or anything. Whether they thought about it or not, like they were instilling this beauty standard into younger people. But I think that a lot of brands are better about it now, and like both diverse and inclusive. It's like how a lot of people probably never thought about the fact that like, oh, there was never any like Indian actresses or actors on television. But like as a brown person, I thought about it a lot, and then when I saw a lot of brown actors and actresses like getting famous, I was like, wow, like that's really good representation. But like, I guess some brands or some people might not think about it like that when they're being represented, whereas like the people who are not getting represented think about it like, oh, is there a reason that this type of model is not being shown like anywhere? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I also think like, I hate when people say like, oh, they're forcing diversity now. Because, well, one, they're not. It's not forcing. It's just like they saw that there was a problem or someone called them out for it and then they chose to make the change and like do something good, right? Like it's that, but also I don't understand why them including more models or like being more diverse, like for example with clothing, you'll see a lot of people have a wider range of clothing sizes and people will get upset about it. But I also think like, I don't understand how this affects you, you know? I feel like as someone who doesn't really have to worry about whether you find like your size or not, will never understand how it feels to never be able to find something that fits, right? And so them increasing their size range won't affect you in any way. And like even with makeup and foundation, right? I know like a lot of brands have like started increasing their shade range, and like brands that don't have been called out for it. And it's like people will get mad at others for calling them out. But it's like, well, why does that make you upset? You know, I don't understand like why them choosing to include more people and make things more accessible for people negatively impacts you. And then there's this one girl on TikTok, I forgot her name. Oh, I think her name was like Samira. And she'll like call out brands for their sizing, whether it's like them being inconsistent or whether it's like them not having enough sizes. People will hate on her, but I feel like they mainly just hate on her because like she's actually expressing her feelings, you know? Like, of course someone's going to be frustrated when a brand doesn't carry her size, and it's like people are getting mad at her for being frustrated or saying you're doing too much or you're the problem. Again, people come in all shapes or sizes. People are going to exist in ways that are different from you. And so instead of getting upset at them for I guess not being the norm, why are you trying to promote, what's the opposite of being, it's like not being inclusive, like exclusive. Yeah, why are you trying to promote brands from being exclusive and not including other brands, you know? Even like with like plus size people, it's like, what do you want them to like be naked? Like, why do you not want them to have clothes? That's what I don't understand. Even if you don't agree with the way that she's, I guess, expressing her feelings and conveying it, one, I don't think that's a problem. I feel like when you start like showing that anger, that's when like you'll see true change. And also, like, at the end of the day, I feel like her point still stands. Even if it's like they offer the size, they might not have it in store. And I feel like especially with clothes, it's really important to try it on, because even if it's your size, it might not like fit in the way you like, or it might not be flattering. And that just could be from the way that the clothes themselves were made. So like, why should we stop other people from being able to try on clothes? Like, I don't understand what the problem is. And then there's another girl that I see a lot. She will like look at a bunch of makeup products, like she'll call them out for it because they only cater towards lighter skin. And then people will get upset with her and be like, oh, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to do this? Do you want them to do that? Or it's like, they'll be like, why are you hating so much? But it's like, at a certain point, you have to start acting like that for there to be actual change. And like the way that she's been doing it, there has been actual change. Like, I don't remember the exact brand, but it was like they sent her these products and then she was like, this is not my skin tone at all, and this is the darkest shade you have. And then they actually like made more shades. And it's like, even without the shades, it's like some brands will have darker shades, but then they'll have like 4 compared to 20 like paler shades, and then they won't like understand undertones and like the way it'll actually look on skin. And then there was this one brand that had straight up like black foundation, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like you can't get upset with people for being frustrated that like things aren't as inclusive, because you don't know how it feels. Like, you could have so many different brands and then none of them will have something for you, you know? I just think just because you might look different, and different in the sense that like it's not considered like the beauty standard or like the norm. It's like with makeup, it shouldn't mean that you're not able to enjoy makeup because no brand will make shades that are good for you. And even with clothes, it's like you shouldn't have to wear clothes that you don't enjoy just because other brands won't make sizes for you. And I feel like there's a big difference between being inclusive and promoting unhealthy habits. Like, especially with plus size people, a lot of people will say, oh, but when you make bigger sizes, it'll promote unhealthy habits. And I think like this just goes back to what Joanne was saying, because you could be doing everything right, you might not have what people consider a healthy body or like an athletic body, but it's like that doesn't mean that they're not doing anything. It just means like we don't know. you know? So I feel like you shouldn't immediately judge and be like, oh, but we're promoting unhealthy bodies by doing this. Like, that person
Like,
could
do you
be
not want them
healthy.
to wear clothes?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you just want them to walk around naked? I'm sure not.
The way you're talking about like how people don't make colors for everyone in like makeup brands reminded me of like the beauty standard in India, like genuine just colorism. And the beauty standard is that like fairer, lighter skin tones are more beautiful. And it's been that way for a very long time, especially like in the entertainment industry, I'm sure. But just never any like darker skin people. I think that one of like lighter skin tones are like prettier is prominent in like a lot of different cultures, which is just like really unfortunate because that's again something that you literally cannot control how much melanin you have in your body. Then again, there's like the people who tan so much. Yeah, I don't know, I've been seeing a lot of that, like especially during the summer. Like I see people who are naturally like a little bit darker skinned will be like, wow, like I used to get made fun of, or like I never used to feel confident in my body, but then like these people want to tan and like look like me or us or whatever. That's why I think like beauty standards are just like, it doesn't make any sense. Like it will always change and it'll always be different for different people, and sometimes like people create beauty standards based on how they themselves look. It makes me feel kind of like sad for those influencers who technically are beauty standards, because like I'm sure they feel some type of pressure to like talk about themselves a certain way or like always feel confident and all this stuff, but like I know that everybody has insecurities, and I think that's something that people should think about more often. Everybody has insecurities, and maybe they're like super confident, maybe they've had insecurities in their past, and like it's just some type of feeling that everyone can relate to. Here I go with the pop culture references again, like hearing those like lyrics in a lot of songs about how people would compare themselves to other girls. These are like some of the most prettiest, like most famous people ever, and you'd think like, wow, they've gotten to be where they are, and like they have so many people like applauding them and like complimenting them and all this stuff, but they're still just like people. Yeah, I think that's what people forget. Just because like someone is online and just because they have a lot of fame doesn't mean that they're like not a human being.
Exactly. I feel like when it comes to how to deal with it, it's definitely easier said than done. Speaking from personal experience, yeah, I have my off days where I just feel like I don't look that good. You just need to prioritize your happiness. Out of everything, you are going to be the most consistent in your life. You are going to be with you forever. Instead of being so unhappy about it, it's just learning to appreciate the little things, or just like learning to not care as much, you know? From my personal experience, when I was in high school, I used to wear makeup to school every single day. But after a while, I started wearing less, and then like stopped wearing it to class entirely. And like, yeah, originally it was because I got lazy. The first time I did it, I remember being like, wow, this feels so weird. And like I remember feeling a little self-conscious because I was like, I've never gone to class without makeup on. And you know, after a while it just turned into, you know, I don't even care. Like whether I think I look good, whether I think I look bad, whether someone else thinks I look good, or whether someone else thinks I look bad, like I don't really care, because, you know, even if I got lazy, like I'm happier because I'm getting more sleep. You know, I don't have to wake up early to put on makeup. I can just go to class. I think that definitely helped me become more accepting towards my looks, because now I don't just think, oh, I only look pretty when I have makeup on. I think, you know, I look good like when I don't have it on, and then when I put it on, it just enhances the way I look, and it enhances the features that I already have. I guess another part of it is just crossing your boundaries and like doing something that you wouldn't normally do. So like for me, it would be like not putting on makeup anymore and embracing the way my bare face looks. But it could also just be like, for example, if it's something related to your body, if there's a dress that you think is really pretty, or something that you think looks really nice but you think wouldn't look good on you for any sort of reason, go and get it, go try it on. It's a lot more freeing being able to do what you want without having to worry about what other people will think, you know? Because let's say they think it, right? First of all, they're not saying it to you, so like why let that let you down when nobody even said it to you, right? And even if somebody said it to you, at the end of the day, them pointing it out, I think also speaks to how they feel and who they are, you know? So like, why would you worry about somebody else who would want to hurt someone's feelings, you know? I don't know how to word it, and I know I've definitely said it before, but it's just like, why waste your time with someone who's not worth your time? You know, you should have people in your life that will make you feel good. don't spend your time on people like that, because it's not worth it at the end of the day. There's always going to be someone that's going to say something. There's always going to be someone that's going to hate. And if you worried about every single person or what they said, I just feel like you would never truly be happy. Life is too short to be constantly worrying about that. I've seen a lot of videos where it's like people will look in the future and be like, I wish I didn't worry about it as much. It's true. Like, if you spend your whole life worrying about the way you looked and constantly feeling upset, it just seems so upsetting, because then it's like you spent your whole life worrying about this one thing that's so trivial. You know, there's so many different things going on. Like, why let, not even like the way you look, but why let what you think somebody else would say about the way you look hold you back? And this also, Loki, goes into like my thoughts about plastic surgery. So remember that one episode of Dance Moms where they all got Botox together? I thought that was pretty funny, right? Of course, like, do what you want, but I find it like disheartening when it's like you look completely different, or like when you're trying to escape looking old. I feel like being able to age is such a beautiful thing. You know, it shows like you've lived your life, like so many things have happened, and like you've been able to carry that same face with you throughout your entire life. I don't want to say I'm like completely against it, because like I get like some people might want to fix like smaller things. Like, let's say like someone gets lip filler, right? I don't think that's going to make you look completely different. It definitely feeds on your insecurities, right? And I feel like the same thing goes with makeup. I'm not anti-makeup, I also wear it myself, but I think two things can be true at once, where it's like you can wear makeup or you can try this, but at the end of the day, like, that industry feeds on your insecurities. I don't think it's necessarily bad to have it or like try it. For me, I guess it's a little sad seeing how people will do so much of it to completely change themselves. You see like how much of their insecurities drive what they do and like how they think. I would say like plastic surgery is a pretty serious thing, because it's surgery at the end of the day. They're like working on your face, they're doing this, they're adding something, right? Also just like sad to see that somebody would go that far.
A lot of people do it to be more confident in themselves. I think that the way that people will try to use plastic surgery to look younger also comes from like people's comments on celebrities in the entertainment industry, because like they feel maybe like they would get more jobs if they like looked a different way, or if they didn't age as much. Yeah, I guess like hard to hear it if like people are getting plastic surgery solely for the reason that they think it will make them look better according to someone else's opinion. But like obviously people will do it to like make themselves feel better, make themselves feel more confident. There's that too.
Also, people will wear makeup not just because they want to like change the way they look, but like what I was saying before, like you can still put on makeup while enhancing your features. People are genuine artists. Like, you'll see someone like drew Picasso on their face, like or not Picasso, the one Starry Night thing on their face, you know?
Picasso.
No, it's something related to that. It shouldn't solve your problems, you know? Like, you shouldn't be using it to try and fix something, or you shouldn't think like, if I do this now I will finally be pretty. It should be an add-on. I also don't think putting on makeup will fix your confidence, because yeah, in that moment you'll feel confident, but at the end of the day, like when you take that off, you're still going to be unhappy. And it's similar to fishing for compliments, where it's like you'll never feel better when you fish for it, because you need to believe that you look good and that you're pretty. You shouldn't find that through some external source. When I say I don't like it as much, I think I don't like when people try to use it as a solution to their problem, because the solution isn't to go put on makeup or to go get plastic surgery. The solution is just like, you should be confident in yourself and you should feel happy with yourself. And I feel like if you do that, like I don't know why I keep saying lip filler, but it's like, let's say like you like the way you look, you know, you're confident in the way you look, but then you're just like, you know what, like I want to try lip filler, see how it is. I feel like that's fine, you know? Like, yes, you're changing something about you, but it's not like you're saying I'm only gonna look good if I made my lips look bigger. I don't know where that trend came from, that it was like you need to have, I think people with bigger lips, thinner lips look great, right? You shouldn't use it just because you think you'll finally look good this way, because also you're always gonna find something to not like. I don't know why I'm thinking of like tapered glue. It shouldn't be like you're putting tape onto the problem and you think it's done. It should be like you're actually fixing the problem, and now like you're going one step ahead and like doing something else, or like moving on with something else. It's never going to be a solution to your problem. The solution to any insecurity is just sort of like getting over the insecurity. And I know that sounds stupid, and again, like, they're easier said than done. It'll definitely take time, but I just feel like you're gonna be so much happier at the end of the day when you don't rely on something external for you to feel good about yourself.
A lot of the things that you were mentioning are very like temporary fixes for problems that people have about how they look. For me, for example, I was very insecure about my acne, and so I used makeup to like cover up all of my dark spots or red spots or whatever, like when I had really bad acne. I was kind of waiting for the moment that I would feel like makeup was fun to me, because it was more like a chore. Like, oh, I wake up in the morning and like I needed extra time so that I could like cover up my face, otherwise I would feel so insecure about it. And that's like another thing you were saying, is that people who make comments on those things likely have the insecurity themselves. I feel like in my own head, like I would compare my skin to other people's, and like I would never like say it like out loud. It was more like I would be like, oh, my skin is worse. So in that way, like a lot of people who may say things or think things, it's because like they have that insecurity or some other type of insecurity themselves. Not to be like, oh, like hurt people, and like if someone says that, that means they're really going through something terrible. It's just like, it probably is the case where like they may have or still do feel a certain way about themselves, or may have heard this from someone, and so that's the only reason that it's like coming to their attention. Now I've come to a point where like makeup is more like something fun. I can say now that like now I'm really interested in skincare and like the science behind this stuff, like also because of Akshaya, but like because this stuff like was beneficial to me and my health and like making my skin better, and same with makeup. And another thing is like how you were saying, going on runs to like be more active and stuff. Like you may have started working out because like you have this certain mindset about yourself, but like eventually like working out is something that would make you feel good. I've heard so many people say that like going to the gym like is just part of their routine because it makes them feel good to move their body, or like runner's high and stuff like that. Like this stuff that you may start doing because of something negative, you're doing something positive, like it will turn into like really good habits.
I think especially with the skincare thing, I also had pretty bad acne when I was in high school. I would try a bunch of different products, like try to find some sort of fix, but I think like that also got me super into skincare, and now like this is something that I want to pursue in the future, you know? I don't want to say it helped me, but it's like, even if it started out as something bad, it can genuinely turn into something interesting. I think it's like a change in mindset, you know? Even if it was originally like, oh, I'm like looking into all of these products because I want to fix my face, basically. Like I want to get rid of my acne, get clear skin because I think that's what'll make me look good. That mindset changed to, now I'm looking into all these different products and like I'm trying these different products, and that's not just because I want to find some sort of like solution to my acne problems, but also because like I find it interesting. Obviously, like I'm trying these products because I want to see if it'll like get rid of my dark spots or if it'll get rid of my breakouts, but it's not because I think, oh, I'll look good now. It's because I want to see whether it'll interact with my skin in a good way. If you're actually striving towards fixing the problem, I think that's another thing. Same thing goes with like working out. I feel like if you originally tried working out because you think, oh, now I'll finally look good, I'll finally appeal to other people, you think it's a solution, but it's not. If that eventually changes into, now I'm working out because I want to have a healthier lifestyle, I feel like that's true solution. I don't know if that makes sense, because it's not a real goal. But when you actually set a real goal, it's like, okay, I want to lose this weight because the doctor told me to, you know, like right now, like I'm not that healthy, or I don't have that healthy of a lifestyle, and I feel like if I do this, I'll actually be healthier. That's like a true goal. Oh, I guess what I'm trying to say is like you actually benefit from it, you know, because like one, you're being healthier, or like another thing is like
You'll feel more confident.
Yeah, you'll feel more confident.
I was just like thinking about how you were talking about lip filler or like nose jobs or anything. That's the face, that's the body that like you were born with. So much of your health is also genetic. It's just hard to like compare yourselves to people who have like literally different DNA.
Oh, I think one thing I also saw that just like hit deep, you got this feature from your parent. Nobody would say, oh my gosh, I think my parent or like my sibling looks ugly. So why are you being so hard on yourself when you can like see that beauty in other people?
Yeah,
it hits so deep. Like this is like something I got from my parents. You know, you're holding something from someone you care about with you every single day. It's cute.
Yeah, I really like how most of the time in the acting industry, they will hire you because you're good at acting, not because of how you look. But a lot of people will comment on how this new actor, actress like looks. It goes back to what I was saying about like, this was not even the intention of like what was going on. And so beauty standards, like, just shouldn't exist. Like there just shouldn't be a standard for looking beautiful, because everybody everybody's beautiful. It's like true. Like, or like there's so many different things that make you beautiful. It sucks for like us too, because like obviously like this is something that everybody goes through, and for there to be like a beauty standard that like I or we don't even like live up to. And it goes with like any trend, like anything that's popular right now. Everybody wants to do that thing or look like that thing. You don't need to follow the trend.
But I will also say, let's say someone's like conventionally, I think of Love Island a lot when I'm talking about this.
Okay.
But it's like when people are like conventionally attractive, that's when they'll start saying, oh, I didn't even think they were that cute in the first place. I've seen things where it's like somebody will be the beauty standard, but they'll say like even though they are the beauty standard, they're still ugly. That whole thing about being ugly hot or hot ugly, it's just like you're making more insecurities. Like you think you're fixing something by saying, oh, but this person is the beauty standard and they're still ugly. Like, but you're not. You're just like further enforcing it. Like beauty standards are stupid because it's so subjective. What one person might find attractive, another person won't, and that doesn't mean that person's ugly. It's just like a matter of preference. And like
exactly, like I don't understand how there can be a beauty standard when everybody has a different type. So how can you have a standard for beauty when every single person has a different opinion of what is beautiful?
When they bring race into it, where it's like they'll say their type is this race, or like they wouldn't date this race.
Or like you're pretty for this, like you're pretty
for being an Indian. I feel like people don't understand just how diverse we are. Like there's so much diversity within one country that it's like you can't just say, oh, I would date this person or I wouldn't date that person, right? And I just feel like people forget that, and then they think like because they saw one thing on the internet where like somebody was ugly, they like apply that to everybody, or they think because this one person that they thought was pretty, like everybody's like that. I just feel like it's so stupid. Like nobody looks the same. Why are you trying to enforce what you saw in one person onto everybody? I've seen that a lot. Well, I don't want to say especially with Indians, but it's just like I've seen so many examples of this when people will talk about Indians. I guess the first thing that comes to mind specifically is like how diverse it is, where it's like nobody's gonna look the same. Like if you went throughout the entire country, like everybody looks different. If you compare like Northeast Indians versus South Indians, or even among South Indians themselves.
People used to say we looked very alike when we were younger, but I don't think we do now.
Yeah,
that's the point I'm trying to make.
With skin color and like saying, oh, like if you're this skin tone, you look better. I guess specifically with Indians, a lot of people will say like North Indians fit the standard more. That it's not synonymous. Like yes, you'll find it more commonly, but that doesn't mean like it's automatically true, because when you fit that generalization, it'll also negatively impact people from other areas, especially in like television. Like you'll see a lot of people negatively depict South Indians because they think like North Indians are the standard, they look better, but like that's not true.
Even besides the diversity in India in general, like I remember seeing a clip of like a concert in India that went viral.
Was it the Tyler concert?
Yeah, I think so. And people were like, wow, I didn't know that like people in India were so pretty, or like it's just like wow, like,
and they think it's a compliment, but it's like you do realize you're saying before you thought everybody there was ugly, right?
There's like a beauty standard in general for the entire population of the world, and then there's like a beauty standard for Indians, or just a standard for Indians. Indians weren't even like on a radar for people at all, which like I guess a lot of people didn't even think about, because unless you were part of that minority that's feeling a type of way, then you won't really think about how those people are feeling. And it's very common too. I guess in India, like the colorism that happens, it's very common, and it's not something that like will change, I guess. It's just there are certain things that like you just have to learn to love about yourself, because if you don't love this thing about yourself and other people compliment you for it, there's only so much that other people's validation can do for you. Like people will say it to you, but like you might not even believe them. When I had like really bad acne or something, and if someone told me like, oh, my makeup looks really good, I'd probably think like, no, it like looks terribly cakey, and like I can see all of the like texture on my face and it looks really bad. And like I would just never believe someone until like I felt confident in it myself. It's like you're saying, there's no real solution until you like fix the root of the problem.
You also have to realize like these things that you're pointing out about yourself, most people probably wouldn't have even noticed. The reason why I'm saying that is like, yes, you shouldn't get external validation, but I don't think like thinking this is you getting external validation, because most of your insecurities stem from the fact that you think someone else will judge you. And I feel like even if you were to say like, no, it's because I don't think it's nice, like, well, why don't you think it's nice? You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people will think like it's not nice, like other people will say that it's not normal or stuff like that, right? But you have to remember, like, most people aren't even looking at you or like nitpicking the little things that you're bringing up. Like, even with acne, it's like I'm sure most people wouldn't even notice whether you have acne or whether you have acne scars, you know? Or like, even if they did, it's not like they're saying, oh my god, this person's so ugly because they have this, right? Because also a lot of people are also focusing on themselves and how they look, that it's like they're not gonna notice something on someone else, or they'll appreciate it on someone else. That also just goes into preference, you know? What you might find doesn't look good on you, some people will appreciate it and think it's really nice or cute. That's like one thing I thought of was freckles. Like, so a lot of people brought up how they didn't like how it looked on their face, but then a lot of people will say like, you know, they were like really cute, like I like how they look and whatever like that. One trend that I really liked on Insta and TikTok, where it's like they'll post a photo and then they'll be like, but I bet you didn't notice this about me, right? And I thought that was so real, because it's like we nitpick so many little things and like we focus about whether this photo looks good, but it's like most people probably wouldn't even realize it in the first place.
Yeah, I think that especially with posting online, you look at a photo for so long and then you start like nitpicking little things about it. Let's say I was to change my profile picture, right? And then like I stared at it for so long because like I didn't know if I should like change my profile picture or something, right? And I send it to my friend and I'm like, do you think this photo looks like bad because of this? And they'd be like, I didn't even see that like when I looked at it, you know? Like, it's so easy for you to like zoom in on yourself and like do all these things, but like, do you actually do that to other people? If you don't do that to other people, you shouldn't be doing it to yourself, because like there's no reason to be like judging yourself for those things. Yeah, I was also gonna say like how you were talking about freckles, and like some people are very insecure about their freckles, and then other people will like use makeup to put freckles on their face. Or like people with naturally straight hair will curl their hair because they think it looks better. You'll never be 100% happy with what you have, but obviously like not everybody starts at the same place. So everybody has their natural things that make them beautiful. Genuinely, like there's not two people, even twins look different.
Oh my gosh, no, let's talk about that. The whole looks maxing thing.
Wait, what is it?
Wait, honestly, I don't even know it myself. I've just seen a lot of things. You know clavicular?
Yes.
He's like, apparently like he's especially been pushing it. Or those videos, they'll put like super, not serious music, but I don't know how to describe it. AI photo of that guy that's like super muscular and has like a really like defined jaw or something. I actually cannot take it seriously for the life of me. And then it'll like switch from one person to another and like who they think is the prettiest, or like they'll compare people.
It's really the like just comparison in general. I think that's like what beauty standards came from, was comparing people. You compare yourself to somebody who is technically beauty standard because like they're a model.
I actually cannot take it seriously. Yeah, even the name itself is like what are you talking about? What is this new lingo we're bringing up?
Well, that's our take. Yeah, so, okay, I can do a reveal of mine. Like how I was saying earlier, this is kind of just like my DIY tote bag. So I started with the like suns. I only really like these. Looking like the Rapunzel suns, I did the spiral. And while I was talking, I just started making like the giant flower down here. So all together, it looks like this. Akshaya is doing a very good job with her lotus.
I think they're lilies.
Lilies. There's that. So make sure to follow
our Instagram and TikTok.
Behind the Screens _podcast. And we'll see you super soon for the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.